Hey guys, it's Jake and welcome to the channel where I share travel videos, tips, and recommendations. And in today's video, we'll be taking a temple tour of Bangkok, Thailand. If you're looking for a full city tour and what the food is like when you're there, I do have a separate video that goes over all of that, like going to a Michelin 1-star restaurant, and I'll link that up above. Some things to know before I go into these temples is that there will be a dress code, there is an entrance fee, and there will be locals which are standing outside trying to tell you that it is closed for a national holiday. This happened to us and we just ignored them and we kept on walking and we got in with no problem. A similar thing happened to my uncle and he listened to what they would say and they drove him to like a suit shop to try to get him to buy a suit, and it's just a whole crazy experience. So when they tell you that it's closed for tourists, just keep on walking and try to get in and talk to someone that actually works there. If you guys can do me a favor and hit the like button, it just lets YouTube know that people like the content so it gets shared with more people, which is obviously a help for a small channel like me. But enough of this intro, let's dive into the temples of Bangkok, Thailand. Bangkok has an interesting history when it comes to temples, so much so that Wat Pho, which we'll talk about, was built before Bangkok was even there. The internet tells me that there are over 30,000 temples in Thailand and Bangkok has several hundreds, and from my experience, that is what it feels like. Similar to my experience in Chiang Mai, there are temples on every corner and several of them are large compounds with a couple of structures on the property. Like all the ones that I'm showing you now aren't even the popular ones and are ones that I just came across when I was walking around the city. So let's start to dive into some of the more popular temples. Wat Pho is one of the oldest and largest temples in Bangkok and is quite possibly one of the most famous temples in all of Thailand. It is sometimes referred to as the Temple of the Reclining Buddha because of the 46-meter long or 141 feet long Buddha that sits at the temple's core. The temple is located just south of the Royal Grand Palace, and you can spend an entire day exploring this ancient historical area. And as you guys have just seen, the temple grounds has more than just a giant Buddha. It is decorated with beautiful structures that are well worth exploring. Wat Pho is one of 6 temples in Thailand classed as the highest grade of the first-class royal temples. The temple complex is home to the largest collection of Buddha images in Thailand. The chapel and this giant Buddha were built in 1832. Next on the list is Wat Arun, and we took a little transfer boat across the river to be able to get there. It can be a challenge to know where to go to actually get on the boat, but there are signs that lead you to this little alleyway and there's a storefront at the end, and from there you can buy your ticket and board the boat. Wat Arun is also known as the Temple of Dawn, and you'll probably first see Wat Arun on the 10 baht coin. The main prong is said to represent Mount Meru, a mythical peak in Buddhist iconography that represents the realms of enlightenment. Wat Arun is awesome during the day, but some people find it even more beautiful at night. And when we were done, we just hopped on the boat and headed back across the river. The first time we tried to go to the Grand Palace, it was crazy busy, so we came back another day. When going to the Grand Palace, there is a dress code, and they're pretty serious about it. My mom had on a scarf which had holes in it, but they wouldn't let her in, but luckily I had an extra shirt, so everything worked out. The Grand Palace is probably the most impressive complex in Thailand and has one of the most beautiful and religiously significant pieces, the statue of the Emerald Buddha on site. According to local legend, the statue was unearthed in Lana Kingdom, now northern Thailand, in the 15th century and was moved from temple to temple as per the whims of each new ruler. When King Rama ascended to the throne, he moved the statue to the Grand Palace. The complex is actually so big that we had a hard time finding the Emerald Buddha and never did. We were only there for a short time because we had lunch reservations and needed to get back so that my mom and girlfriend were able to fly out that afternoon. With each admission ticket, you also can use that to go watch a Khan performance, which is a staged show to follow the footsteps of His Majesty King Maha. Last but certainly not least is Golden Mountain in Wat Pho. The temple earned its name from the impressive large stupa, which is set atop an artificial hill that can be reached by climbing up the 300 steps. The walk up is extremely easy and provides a great look of Bangkok. And as with these other temples that we've gone over today, and there's more to see than just the main attraction. And on this site, you have a chapel, a library, and an ordination hall where you'll find a number of Buddhist paintings. There is an entrance fee to get into the temple of 50 baht or $1.66. As I mentioned in the intro, there are hundreds of temples in Bangkok, and these were 4 of the main or popular tourist attractions, but you'll see so many as you walk around the city, and they're all amazing. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a better idea of what you can do in Bangkok, Thailand when experiencing the temples. And if you guys want to check out other travel articles or travel destinations, there's a link down in the description. And if you guys want to be around for when I post my next video, do not forget to subscribe. See you guys next time.